I was hanging out with one of my super close female friends, and she's like, yo, that guy is super cute. And she's like glazing the fuck at him. She's like, he's the hottest guy I've ever seen. I'm like, you should go speak to him, smile at him. She's like, no way. It's the guy's job to approach. And it made me realize for the first time, a lot of the time when, you feel like people aren't coming up to you, people don't want to start a conversation with you, especially girls, they're just way too fucking scared, or it's like societally the guy's job to go up to a girl. So first, the point that I want to make is a lot of the time you're not like doing anything wrong if you haven't been approached or anything, and you might just have to take the responsibility and be that guy who goes and you might have to take the responsibility as the leader who goes and speaks to everybody. Literally yesterday, I was walking to like this rooftop, and there was this guy. I was like, yo, do you guys have 0-calorie ice cream here? I spoke to this guy for a few minutes. Even though he seemed like a bit shy, a bit like nervous, I still had a nice chat with him. Because the thing is, I've finally gotten to the point where I can speak to anybody. And it's more of a fear thing. It's actually like very well welcomed by society. People really like being spoken to. But only 2 years ago, I found it really hard, even on just a day-to-day basis, to speak to anybody really. Like a lot of the time I just had nothing to say. And I definitely didn't have good friends. I'm Finn. I help young guys make amazing friends, improve their social life. I do have a Discord server, which I'm putting my full social skills written guide on there. Absolutely gem piece of write-up that I made. You can join that if you want. If not, there's plenty of free information on my YouTube channel. Sub, like, comment, bro. Let me get into it. I remember I was hanging out with my boy, and this guy, he couldn't speak to any of the boys. And I see him going up trying to talk to girls, and I already know why he's having a hard time. Because at the start of this night, it was me, this guy, and one other guy, and there's this like smoking area. And me and my boy, we're talking to like all the guys, we've made a lot of friends, we're already like having convos and making friends with some girls and having a good time. But this other guy, he's kind of just like going up and shooting like fucking, not even a full court shot, just like from 3 courts away, like trying to launch up some bricks. Like, fair play for shooting some Hail Marys, but like, this guy genuinely, he lost the plot a little. And I know why. Because he didn't put enough time like with boys, understanding like basic social mannerisms. He didn't understand like the basics, which was like how to have a good conversation with a new guy. And he's jumping straight to like trying to pull a bunch of girls. I don't think he's antisocial. Like for me, I think he's weird, but I can appreciate his weirdness. I like being around him, But a lot of people thought he was weird. The thing is, I'm not going to talk about girls in this first part of the video, because if you want to get more girls, this is genuinely the best strat. Like, I know you're like probably like horny as fuck, or you're a guy, like it's pretty fair enough, right? But genuinely, if you don't have like a little bit of patience to listen to how to get all your social skills up, you're going to be exactly the same as this guy. Me and my boy, we were the ones getting all the attention from girls, having choice. Whereas this other guy who just like, he didn't have the patience to get his social skills up, talk to the guys at the event. You're going to be like that if you don't listen to this first part of the video. So yeah, hear it out. And if you really want, just skip ahead to later in section 3. But for now, the first thing I want to say, I was asking this guy, I was like, what do you do when you run out of things to say? And I kind of know this answer, it's okay to be silent. But hearing it from somebody I respected saying, it doesn't matter at all. If you are genuinely talking to somebody, you have absolutely nothing to say, and you go silent, it's completely fine. You can literally just chill there and it's no big deal. And if it's really bad and you really have nothing to say after a while, not in like a short 15 seconds, 30 seconds time span, more like if a minute or a few minutes goes by of you guys just chilling out, then say, hey, do you want to listen to music? Give him an AirPod. And hearing it from this guy, he genuinely like in his mind believed it's not a big deal. And then when I understood, oh, it's not even a big deal, I went on a date after, like right after he had told me this advice. And I think I felt like I had a way better time on that date compared to the last one. I felt like I was more fun to be around. Actually, I know I was more fun to be around. It went better. And this advice was like genuinely magical. And hopefully I can give you that same effect of somebody you respect who is telling you silence really doesn't matter. The more I'm realizing it, the more like popular people I see who are quiet in groups, who they don't even say much, or like some of my super close female friends, they don't even say much. And the weird thing is when you're so comfortable not saying anything, all of a sudden you have like loads to say. After you give it some time and it will come to your mind, you'll have loads to say. Especially if you're also working on your social skills. One other point, he just told me to speak slower. It's just like, there's nothing deep about it, nothing to explain. But it really significantly helped, I think, or at least helped me stay calm over like that day and have like a better time. Because like you get excited and I speak really fast all the time. So I know that like when you're talking to someone in a conversation, it's better to slow down. Maybe online, if I want to get more info in and make it more exciting, I can speed up, right? But you gotta like keep it slow at the start. And I think that's really, really good social skills advice. I remember recently there's this like social area where a lot of people my age will go. There was two girls like chatting and looking at me. And what I realized, like they weren't even really trying to hide it or anything. Like they were defo talking about me. Cause they kept like looking at their phone and fucking pointing at me, right? I looked behind me, nobody around me. I already know like people have heard of me or seen me or something a lot of the time when I go out in Hong Kong. But this was weird because like they were being like really weird about it. Anyways, I went up to them and I was like, hey, are you guys like mentioning me or something? Have you seen me somewhere? You're looking at me weird. And they were like, no, we're not even looking at you. And they just said like, oh, what's your name? We had a chat. And it made me realize like, maybe I might have overthought that whole thing, but maybe I was right. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter as long as you just went up to people and say, hey, how are you? You're friendly. That's literally all you can fucking do that matters. Like, as if someone's hating on you and you go up to them, you're like, hey mate, nice to see you. They're not really gonna hate you too much after that. Especially if you're a respectable guy as well, if you're with a bunch of good lads, you know, people will eventually come around to respecting you in that sense. Literally just say hi to more people, especially at social events. Now the next like little piece of advice that I think is really important for making friends, I'm not a big smoker or anything, but I'll have a ciggy here and there. And like I rarely smoke actually, but this one night I had just got off like this super long work shift, like the worst fucking work shift I've probably ever been through, right? I finish and I see this like French fucker sitting down on the stairs. I'm like, yo bro, may I have a ciggy? And I sit down, I chat to them for like 10 minutes. Honestly, I became mates with these guys. I was like, yo, you're a fucking good bloke. Like, we should do something. We were both like technically working in hospitality. I left that job now. But I really liked him. And I bumped into him on Wednesday and we were it was fucking fun as shit to be around this guy. He was the GOAT. So something I realized, I went up to him. I spoke to him like he was one of my good friends. We instantly instead of, you know, oh, this guy doesn't know me, so I'm not going to talk about it. I was like, yo, I just had the worst fucking day at work. That's exactly how I would talk to one of my friends. Then, because I did that, I assumed he was close with me. I treated him like he was a close friend, and that is actually what makes people want to be closer with you. That's what makes people more comfortable with you, when you treat them like a close friend. And then we did become a bit closer. We're going to hang out soon. One thing, my next point, this is an interesting one. Basically, I bumped into this girl 3 months ago. I went up to her, I was like, you're very attractive, or whatever I said. But I was really nervous and I couldn't hold myself in the convo long. I feel like there was interest there, but like I didn't stay around, I didn't have a chat, I didn't get to know her. So like, I messaged her, she aired me. But then a few weeks ago, I saw her on the street and I went up to her again. Like a little bit arrogant, like a little bit delusional, I guess you could say. But it wasn't that delusional in the end, right? I don't want to say any like details, but let's continue this so it makes a bit more sense. I messaged her and it was like, she wouldn't respond faster than a day. She was like somewhat like interesting to speak to, but like somewhat dry. I honestly thought, yeah, there's no way she would come to meet me. I asked her, I was like, yo, we should hang out. She's like, I don't know, I'm leaving Hong Kong soon or something. And guess what I did? I ignored that shit and I said, I'm free on Wednesday. Let's do this. And I still remember, she was like, oh, okay. And like, she like slowly came around to the plans that I had made. This is a lesson. Like, this is like, I don't want to go into any details because it's like private to me, but just being like a little bit delusional in the sense where this girl is not giving me any clear signs. you're just like a bit full of yourself, then that is actually what works. I mean, with girls it works well, but like I think it works better with guys because you don't there's no like barrier to making friends with a new guy. If you think you're the GOAT and you go up to a guy, 100 out of 95 guys will like have a chat with you, you have a good chat. If you go up to a girl and you're like, oh, you're cute, then it's like the ratio goes down a lot. All these girls with boyfriends won't want to speak to you. Maybe you come across as unattractive. Maybe you're like too intimidating. There's like 100 reasons for girls to not want to talk to you. So applying the same logic, like mindset with this girl who there was 100,000 barriers of why she wouldn't want to get to know me. If you just use the same arrogant logic of speaking to everybody, assuming everyone's going to like you with guys, I guarantee you're going to make some good friends. Don't doubt yourself ever. Or I doubt myself all the time, just override it, bro. If you're saying, oh, this girl's going to reject me, ask her anyways. It doesn't fucking matter, right? I mean, I'm gonna get back to this. There's a concept called like poisoning the well. You don't want to like go up to every girl in your school. But like outside of school, you should be going to the gym. You should be going to a sports club. Like, I get it. Even if you're in a small town, you still have the chance. There's so many people who you haven't met. Like, I'm telling you. Now, bro, before I get into my next section, this Discord full social skills guide goes into a lot more detail on like the beginning steps of making good friends and putting together an amazing friend group to the point where you have like the dream summer or the dream friend group, dream like social life. That's going to be in my Discord. The link's in the description. Either way, subscribe, like, or comment, and I would really appreciate that. And obviously, bro, I hope that this advice is really helping you. The next section, these are these strategies. Genuinely, I've spent years like trying to come across the perfect ones. These are fucking unbelievably good, right? Now, hold on. Ow. I need to stop cracking my fucking fingers, bro. Anyways. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. There's this guy who skip ahead if you're not like a mega beginner at social skills, by the way. But this guy was the most awkward dude I had like probably met in years. I don't know if he had Asperger's. I actually have no clue, but like I wouldn't be surprised, no disrespect to him, because he struggled a lot with conversation, but he didn't stop trying. He like tried really hard and he was a really good person. Ow, I just can't stop fucking, Alright, sorry, I gotta stop doing that shit. I'm being a fucking retard cracking my fucking fingers, bro. Shit makes it hurt more. Anyways, this guy, basically, he would go for a run 2 or 3 times a week. And every time he would run, for the first week, he would wave to every person he ran past. And to him, that was the scariest thing in the world. And then week 2, he started to get a bit more comfortable with it. And he started to say hi to every person he ran past. Week 3, hey, how you going? To every person he ran past. 4th week, he started in school trying to speak to more people. And this can go on and on and on until you're the most social guy anywhere you go, right? I've done something similar to this, except my base social skills, I don't think it ever dropped to the point where if someone was talking to me, I could like respond like well, but I was never in the position where I was like naturally social. It was more like the problems I had weren't like the not being able to, hold on, this is fucking up my head a little, but like basically I was never at the point where I was so scared to like smile at somebody I was running past. The next point is, this is like that strategy, if you're in that scenario, message me on Discord, bro, because there's a lot more I can do to help you if you're at that base level, because my YouTube videos they're for a very basic level, but not that low where it's like you don't even have like any social intelligence. It's more for like when you're on like level 2 of being social, like you're just really shit, right? But you're a little bit better than horrible. You're a little bit better than the least social person you've ever met in your life. That's when my advice usually helps a lot. This advice still helps hella, but like if you don't use the progressive overload method, the strategy I just told you, then it might be really hard to go from it's a really big jump is what I'm saying. So message me and I can help you give like some perfect steps and give you some good advice there. Now, I have a friend who by the way, side point, you want to meet a friend who's like super close and not judgy and down to like do shit, right? So my boy and I, We were going to horse races one night, and before we went to the horse races, I told him about the how are you strat. I'm really proud I came up with this strat because I've made it into something that's kind of funny to me, but it actually works, and like it doesn't make me feel like I'm weird or anything. It really made a massive effect. Let me explain it. It's pretty self-explanatory. When you before you go to a social event, you're walking in the street, you say hi to random people. Every time you say hi to somebody, hi, how are you? You get more and more comfortable. People are more friendly than you realize. Hey, how are you? A lot more people than you think will respond positively. I remember after I did that strategy that night, I went on to the races, and I'd been going there the last 4 weeks. That was the best night I had by far. Truly, by a long shot. I had one of the best, I was in one of those flow states where it's the flow state where you're so social and you have such a good day, and it's like you write it down as one of the best days of my whole life. It was low-key that same vibe, and I realized if I just do this how are you strat, every time I do this, I'm so much more fun to be around. My social skills come up. I have so much more to say. It's a banger strategy, probably the best social skills strategy, because anyone can do this. It might be really fucking hard. But if you're about to go out and you push it, you're like, it might be hard, but I'm doing it anyways. As soon as you've said hi to 20 new people, I guarantee you your social skills, normally it takes like a while to social skills ascend and go to the next level. You can social skills ascend like a lot within just doing this technique because you actually hit a flow state. It makes one of the biggest differences I've ever noticed. Like, that's what I like about social skills. You can make so much fucking progress in 2 weeks if you actually commit, whereas the gym, you can't really put on like 10 kilos of muscle in fucking 2 weeks unless you're using steroids and you die at 40, you know? Whereas social skills, no downside. You can become one of the most social people in your city within 2 months. Now, I want to tell you this story. You might hear this strategy and you're kind of like trying to be more social. I have the perfect thing that you should do. And I know you're probably like, you're going to have some excuses that I'll get to in a second, but basically for me, when I did learn this strategy for the first time, it was accidental. I had been at boarding school for 6 months, having a really awful time there. No friends, basically. Or not many friends. And when I got on holiday for 2 weeks after 6 months of not seeing any of my friends from Hong Kong, where I was born, I was in a boarding school in Australia. I went out every day with as many people as I could hang out. Like, it was mainly the same people, but I would plan something every day. And when I couldn't plan something, I would plan to hang out with my parents. One night I played Monopoly. I got so used to being around people and being social. And the first week I went up to this girl. I got fucking aired. She had no interest in me. But then the next week, right, something interesting happened. I was still getting aired. Like, I was still really nervous. I was still struggling in every single combo until I saw this girl I knew who went to my school. I don't want to say how I know her because it will give away like her name and that's really disrespectful. But I called out her name. I'm like, hey, her name. And then I'm like, come here, I want to talk to you. And I was stressing the fuck out trying to hold this combo. Luckily, she was kind of carrying the combo, or like, all I had done was had the balls to say hi. And a lot of the time, if you just have the balls to say hi, a lot of people are like quite good at carrying the combo or like to yap, and you're like, oh, I'm just happy to listen. You give that kind of vibe and you're friendly, you can pull that off as well. Basically, should I say this? Basically, we kissed, and it was like right in that moment where for weeks, for months, I hadn't gotten a single bit of attention from a girl. I was struggling socially with almost every person I spoke to, except for my close friends, even with guys. And then it was just refreshing. It was like, man, maybe I'm not all that bad. It was a nice feeling. But then all of a sudden, it was super easy to talk to everybody. But it wasn't that one night kissing that girl. That had like fucking like 30% to do with that effect. It was because for the last 2 weeks, every day I was with my friends. And then the progress feels like hard to see, but then it comes out of nowhere. One sick night will happen and your confidence changes forever. You meet one friend who you really love, your life changes forever. Black Swan event. Something unique that happens that really changes the way you view yourself. And this doesn't happen when you go to the gym and you're in your routine and you go to school every day. This only really happens when you're out socially, and then maybe, actually, yeah, when you meet new people, that's really it. Like, I can't think of many other like crazy opportunities apart from like when you move across the world, but most of us aren't moving across the world, are we? So, yes, you might be thinking, yeah, you kissed a girl, that will get your confidence up. I'm sure it will, yeah, probably. But the biggest part of it is you've been trying super hard to talk to people for a few weeks, and then it will all come together. My next point is, I told you this how are you strat, right? And I told you I had one of the best nights that night. But I didn't tell you what I do when I'm still struggling after the how are you method, because like honestly, my social skills, I'm gonna be honest, is like way better than my viewers. Or like there might be a few like moggers in my like social skills moggers in my videos who are like really social. Maybe they've learned more than I've learned, maybe, and they're just like trying to improve their skill. I doubt it, but like potentially. Out of respect, like I don't want to be account about this, but like my social skills are better than you, and sometimes I still need to use this technique. So you're probably definitely going to be able to still need this after you do the how are you method. A lot of the time, the how are you method is so gold. You say hi to so many people that it's so easy to talk to people at a function. But there's one less like little step. This is the easy part after you've done the how are you strat. But this is what I used to do when I didn't do the how are you strat, and it worked. It just isn't as good as the how are you strat. And then one night, I went to this like under 18 event, and it's my boy and I. It's like a club night, except you can't bring drinks in because of legal reasons and shit. We go in, and the thing is, we're staying there, and I'm like kind of sick, and he's like there chilling, and I'm like, we're just staring at each other, and we don't really know what to do. We've got about no fucking clue what we're gonna do. Like, we're just standing there. So I teach him the method. I'm like, let's just start saying hi to more and more people. But the thing is, I went up to the ugliest dude, short guy I could find. I'm like, hey, how are you? Because that guy ain't scary to me, bro. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go up to some 10 out of 10 girl. Like, bro, that's not how it goes. I went up to the ugliest dude I could find. Then we started talking to more bigger groups of guys, and I kept introducing them to my friend because my friend was less social than me. But every 30 minutes, we would kind of like go up a level. Like after 30 minutes of talking to like one group of guys who were, very friendly and not like awkward at all and very unintimidating, we went to the bathroom, reset for 5 minutes, came out, started talking to more intimidating guys, started talking to bigger groups of people who weren't like instantly smiling at you. And then we ended up making some friends, having a good chat. We go back to the bathroom, genuinely in 30-minute increments. Like, I'm not lying at all. We did this 4 times. After 2 hours of doing this 4 bouts of 30-minute increments, we started talking to girls. And that was like, it was like you go up in levels of difficulty, bro. I'm telling you, it's harder to talk to girls than dudes. Like, I think we all know that, right? So just start with the least scary dudes, and then the most scary dudes, and then the least scary girls, and then the most scary girls. And at the end of the night, my boy and I, more him than me, because I didn't have hair. I had a goatee. Everyone there thought I was like 21. Everyone thinks I'm 21 or like 23 or some shit like that. So I still had attention from girls, but they were all too young for me. Like, I didn't want to go for the girls that were 15 at that time. I was not like an adult then, by the way. Under 18 event, remember? But my boy was a year younger than me, so it was like he was low-key in paradise. All the girls coming up to him, he could kiss them if he wanted. But this guy got approached genuinely by like 10 girls, I think, which was nuts because like at the start of the night, he wasn't getting approached at all. It was just when we had started being more social, when we were having a good time, when our social energy was up. And yeah, I can tell this detail because no one will know who I'm talking about. But this guy and I remember he was like struggling like with girls or a bad like split up sort of thing for a while. And then all of a sudden this night I see him with like fucking 5 girls trying to talk to him at once. And then he's picking the most attractive one and hanging out with her. And I'm like, I'm happy. I'm proud of him. Like I'm happy for him. He's like he was done dirty by the last girl. And now he's like, finding girls who are interested in him, getting the respect he deserved. And I was really happy with that. That's the other progressive overload method. That's the one I use. I really recommend going to like a bunch of functions so you can actually try this. Because like during the day and during the mall, you can do that for sure. I feel like it's just... Who the fuck is calling me from mainland China? Anyways, sorry, I had to move that call. Fuck, sorry, that's fucking messed with my head real quick. Sorry, but the point I'm making is that is a really like immaculate. Oh, I recommend going to functions. The mall, it's really hard to talk to new people. That you need like a higher level of social skills, and I guess the challenge is higher. And if you could hack it and you could achieve like, if you could like still go through with it anyways, that would be a better skill challenge. But it's better to just start small and easy. And the best way to do this is to go to your first few functions. If you're in Australia, under 18 events are fucking golden for this. And you'll probably like find a girl who wants to hook up with you anyways. I mean, do whatever you want, bro. I'm not your fucking like, I'm not your mom or dad, right? I just want you to have a good life. So you do what you want if you want to hook up with girls. Although it won't fill the void if that's what you think it will. Not that I have a void, all right? Don't take me out of context. Remember, my full social skills guide is still in the Discord server. If you like my content now, links in the description. Subscribe, like, comment. I would really appreciate it. Now let me get on to section 3. Now, I'm going to tell you something that I don't want to say online, because you got to understand. I finished school, and the first day I finished school, I went out that night with my friend, and we literally couldn't speak to a girl. Like, we literally, like, physically could not go up to the girl. This is a guy and I who we've cooked up before. Like, I can't get into details, but, like, we've had really, really, like, positive, like, attention from girls, super social nights before. This night, we just didn't cook up. I don't know if it's because we had just finished school or not. It was literally the last day of my school life ever, my last exam. And that first night didn't speak to anybody. Then the next night out, I spoke to people, but it was still hard. It was like, I didn't really get the ball moving. There was a few girls showing some interest. Then 1 week later, I want to say anything out loud or nothing, right? But let's just say Mans was getting a lot of attention. Because basically over every night, I started to go up to girls. Now, you just need to understand like a key distinction here. Go up to like a lot of girls. Like genuinely, I think you should. Obviously, don't poison the well. Don't go up to every girl at school. Like you don't want to go into the library or your gym and go approach every girl there, because you'll get a bad rep and it'll just stop working and people will find you weird. But at like a nightlife environment, or like in the middle of the street in a big city, like I really approve. Like genuinely go for it. Be super respectful, but girls love to be approached, man. I love to be approached. If a girl came up to me and said, hey, you're super cute, I would be like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm talking to somebody, but thank you. And then bye. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fucking W to receive. So don't think like you're being a dickhead. Just don't do it in a creepy way. Just be like, hey, I didn't mean to interrupt, or no, don't say I didn't mean to interrupt you, because you don't want to like set that frame. But here's how I would do it. I'd just be like, hey, I saw you walking. I thought you were cute. Have a smile. Be like, what's your name? And you just speak slow. These manners, energy is more powerful than what you say in this scenario. Stay in the convo for a few minutes. Have a good chat with her. And then say, hey, I would love to hang out with you. Let me take your contact down. And then say, oh, do you like this? Do you like movies? Whatever. That's probably how I would do it, right? I think within 2 weeks or 1.5 weeks, okay, let's say within 2 weeks of finishing school in Australia, I had definitely gone up to 10 girls broad daylight, maybe more, but I don't remember for sure, and 100 plus, or maybe more, nightlife. Now, when I go up to a girl at nightlife, I go up to like 100 plus guys as well. Like, come on, calm down, right? I talk to everybody, but there was a lot of girls I approached, and just like getting over this fear of talking to random people. And then if I liked talking to this person, I would throw in a little, oh, you're very pretty, by the way, because you need to be able to show interest. As soon as I got back to HK, Hong Kong, where I don't quite approach nearly as much here, because like it comes back to you way too much. Like everybody, like you don't really, like if you approach a girl, like all of a sudden your friends are gonna know a lot of the time, right? I don't mind that too much. I don't really give a shit, but it's just like you don't want to like poison the well. And that fear there like slowed me down from how much I would go up to girls. But just based off the momentum alone from going up to a lot of girls within 2 weeks, I was cooking up, and there was, again, I can't say details. It's a bit sad I can't say it. All this shit is too fucked up to be said online. But it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. It's private, you know? So I still cooked up, even like the first weekend I got back from Australia, because I had all that momentum from going up to so many girls and guys there. I think the aim is to get to the point where it's natural and easy, and I would really recommend going to a social event where you know you're never going to see any of them again, and approaching loads and loads and loads of people, because then when you leave that event, the confidence comes with you, and then you can start bringing it to, you know, if you're 16 and you go to the mall with your boy, you start going up to girls there. If you have that same confidence, you're going to start getting fun ass experiences, double dates. You're probably going to meet like some really lovely people when you can like have some self-respect, speak to loads of girls and just say, oh, I didn't like that convo, I'm not going to message her. You know, there's nothing wrong with getting a girl's Insta and just never messaging her. If you didn't like her and you don't want to go out with her, don't message her. You know what I mean? I think you need to get a homeboy to do this with you first, and I think that's like a really massive help. I mean, the way I've met a homeboy who would be down to do this with me, we're not right now. Because like now, you just gotta know, like, if you want a relationship truly and you actually do want that, or like a meaningful connection, it's probably best to not be going up to like hundreds of girls, right? So yeah, that's probably why like right now I'm not going up and doing this, because I did want to do this one more time to like I wanted to learn a bit more and give some better advice, but for now it's all good. Like what I'm doing is working as well. And so I would just tell you to find a really, if I was single, fully single, I would just get my boy and we would go like approach some girls. And I still haven't tested out day game. Like I think like, or it's not even day game. Like I just haven't approached nearly as many girls during the day as at night. And from what I've heard, it's way lower chance of anything happening when you approach girls from nighttime. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, okay, wait, I'm gonna move on to my next point. I think I rambled a little there. Valuable ramble. I remember when I went to one of these under 18 events, I was like the most social guy there for sure. Or like, I didn't know many people there and I made the most socially when I was there very quickly. And I met my girlfriend there, or a girl that I dated there, and what I noticed is that she was a lot more quiet than me. She wouldn't have as much fun without me, because I was the one always going up and speaking to everybody, making friends with everyone no matter where I went. I always was the one who had like shit planned, or I didn't necessarily like always have stuff planned, but at the start during the holidays, I had things planned, or I would be with a family meeting or something along those lines. And I think this is the absolute method for getting girls out of your league. Like even girls within your league, but like we all know how dating is nowadays, where most girls date and find like a more attractive guy, or like somebody who looks the same as them, looks-wise, only looks-wise, right? That's why you gotta like take what you have control of. You don't have that much control over your looks. Like you go to the gym, take nice haircut, eat clean. Like, okay, you have a lot of control in my opinion. I think you can like ascend from like a 3 out of 10 to a fucking 6 out of 10. I think you can go up like 3 points of looks like easily. But apart from like once you do a lot, there's like, you know, not so much you can do anymore. But if you can get super high status in your city, if you get super good at a sport and everyone knows you for that, if you're popular in your city or you're popular in your school, you will clean the fuck up with girls, and you will find a girl and you'll date someone who's like looks above your league. And so I really I'm really backing this strategy. Being the social one is the best way for you to get girls who are more like attractive than you. Because yeah, dude, at the end of this video, like it's really hard to film for 33 minutes straight, so my points are starting to be a little less concise. But I'll just rattle off these last 2 points really quickly, really short. I was talking to this girl about how she's like, oh, ugly hot guys are really good, you know, they're even better than hot guys. I was like, we came to the agreement, yeah, that's basically just an ugly guy who's confident, and then you find him hot because he's so confident, you know? Confidence trumps it. Confidence trumps the looks. She would rather an ugly guy who's confident than a good-looking guy who's not confident. Like, being confident genuinely puts you so far ahead of the population. Not like being, oh, I'm confident. More like you talk to a lot of people, you have a very friendly vibe, you're just being good at socially. That's the number one way to like get so far in terms of pulling girls, get so fucking far ahead in like your life quality. And that's why I recommend it so heavy. Oh, I already low-key mentioned some small things. when you go up to a girl, show like a little bit of interest, you know, keep a little bit of space. There's not that many things. Just be like very polite and like don't overthink the combo. Even if it's not the perfect combo, just do it, because it's meant to be awkward. It's meant to be awkward on the first date too, and everybody understands that. And if it's not awkward, then you're gonna like go clean up and get like unlimited girls, in my opinion, if you're like confident with every girl you go up to. But like, let's not try and like put some stupid standards, because even if you're quiet and you give off just a good impression and you just had the confidence to go up to her, that's all you really need, in my opinion. Show some interest, stay in the chat for longer, keep some space, and get their contact, suggest something that you would like to do together, and that's my advice. I mean, I think the sections 1 and 2 are better than the section 3, because the section 3 is just go up to loads of girls. Understand that being social, like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like an extension of the rest of the video. But for now, join my Discord and read that full social skills guide if you want, or just message me. Subscribe, like, comment, that really would help me. And thank you for watching all the way to the end of this video, bro. Hella respect to that. Like, you've got a long ass attention span. You're gonna social skills ascend. I give you my word. If you're hardworking enough, you have like at least the attention span to sit through this whole video, and you have like a tiniest bit of application, tiniest bit of like commitment, and you join the Discord, or you go out and you say hi to someone new today, or you make a plan for yourself, then you're gonna social skills ascend. I give you my word. Because I have valuable, useful content that helped me during my experience. If it helped me, there's a lot of people who are similar to me. Most people are. I'm just a guy at the end of the day. And so there's no reason why you can't also improve a lot. Thank you for watching this video, bro. Have a great day.